Yep, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Geek Samurai coming to you back with another video, man. In this video, I want to just jump right into it, man. This is spoilers. So if y'all don't want to hear about this movie, Avengers Endgame, y'all need to leave right now. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. First of all, how are the Russos gonna kill Tony Stark, bro? How? Tony Stark dies in this movie, man, and it hit me. I cried like a baby, son. The waterworks was coming out, son. When he said, "I am Iron Man," and he snapped his fingers after he fused those power stones into making our own gauntlet out of his nanotech Iron Man suit. Bruh. Those are the same words that he used in the first Iron Man movie back in 2008, bruh. At the end of that movie, when he said Iron Man to the press, that got me, son. That got me, dude. We knew that this Thanos coming back from the past to the future, we knew that he was a different Thanos. Because of Thanos from Infinity War, that Thanos was more, philosophical. He was more soft with his actions. He only wiped out half the universe. Even though he was still menacing, he didn't take out the whole universe. This Thanos that the Imposter Nebula helped bring back to the future, this Thanos was more vicious. He was more menacing. He was more brutal with his actions. He wasn't all speaking with words. He was kicking all the Avengers' asses. The ones that the Avengers that the intelligent Bruce Banner snapped to bring back, all those Avengers was fighting the Black Order, fighting Thanos, fighting his children of Thanos, all those armies and troops that he had, the Sanctuary 2, that ship that he came in from the past to the future. Bruh, Thanos was waxing them. He wasn't even talking much. This guy was waxing them all, bruh. And you hear them famous words from Captain America, Avengers Assemble. When I heard that, man, that was another highlight moment for me, bruh. I love that moment because Captain America, you want him to say that because he's the first Avenger from his first movie. So that was very emotional for me, man. But I still can't get over the fact that you killed Iron Man, dog. Iron Man, who started the whole MCU, and now you end it with him. I was hoping in this movie that, he was going to retire, or even if he did die, his voice would have been like a recording, like how Jarvis is an AI. That would be the new Tony Stark voice whenever they go to Avengers facility or Avengers Tower or whatever. Nah, bruh. They took this man out completely. The only thing that they had left was a recording that he did on one of his Iron Man suit helmets. He's sitting in a chair and he's telling how much he loves Pepper. He loves his daughter Morgan. I love you 3000. Yo. Another moment in this movie is when Scarlet Witch died too. She went out just the way Gamora went out. Her and Ronan or Clint Barton or a.k.a. Hawkeye, they're best friends. So when they went to Vormir and you see Red Skull, they're looking like a Reaper, soul for soul. Bruh, you see them fighting each other because one is trying to sacrifice themselves for the other. Bruh, I'm telling you, right now, freaking Scarlet Witch saved Ronan by clipping the grappling line onto his belt. He was able to save himself, but he was holding her hand still. She's like, let me go. I have nothing to lose. I have no family. I have no friends. The Avengers is your family. What are you saying? She's like, yo, Clint was like, yo, tell my family for me that I'm leaving. Tell them I said bye. Tell my wife and tell my daughter. Tell my two boys. No, she's like, you tell them yourself. Let me go. I have nothing left to live for. And she sacrificed herself, man. I think that death was more impactful than Gamora when Thanos threw his daughter off that cliff. Because we had Gamora for like maybe 4 or 5 films. Guardians 1, Guardians 2, Infinity War. That's 3 films. And then Endgame. But we had Black Widow longer than that. From Iron Man 2 all the way till now. I cried at that moment too. Oh my gosh. To see Black Widow's gone and now Iron Man's gone. Bruh. That hit me hard, y'all. That hit me hard, son. Another highlight I love is when they did the whole time heist. I loved it. That time heist was so dope because we had my boy Thor going back to Asgard. And he's all choked up because he lost Asgard. He lost half his Asgardians. He lost his mother, Frigga, which we see her come back. He lost the love of his life, or an old flame he calls it. Jane Foster. She comes back. He lost his father. He lost Loki. So to see him go back to Asgard and he can't, really interact with his older self, but his mother was able to smell something in the air. Something was up. And she hid behind one of the pillars and found him. She's like, yo, I was raised by and trained by these witches of Asgard. You don't think I know when something's up in the air? You don't think I know when something's up? Yo. And she said, yo, come on, son. This is how you looking right now? Why you look like this? I know, my son. You are a protector of all the realms, of all the world. You're protector not only of Asgard, but of Midgard. Go and be the son that I've raised you to be. Go and be the son that I know you can be. And she makes a joke in there, which I love, and eat a salad. I love that. Another part of this heist that I love is to see Cap fight himself. That was dope too. And you see the old Cap said, I could do this all day. And you see the future Cap like, yeah, I know. You always talking like that. Let's go. And the future Cap finally whoops his ass and takes off one of the stones. That was a dope moment. And he had a little joke and they saying, yo, that really is America's ass or something like that. What a great moment. Seeing Cap versus Cap. I enjoyed it. Another moment that was dope is that we see future Tony Stark meet up with 1970s Howard Stark. Now we know at this point Tony Stark has his own daughter. He's finally a father of his own. So he's giving advice to his father because his father finally found out that he's expecting to have a baby or whatever, which is, I don't know what to do. All I do is work, and now I'm finding out my wife is expecting. And all he could say is like, yo, she's expecting. He makes the shape of her belly or whatever. That was dope. And you see Tony giving advice to Howard Stark. That was a great moment because Tony could have revealed that he was his son. But he said, no, my name is Howard Potts. And this is what I would do if I was going to be a father. And, okay, now I'm excited. Now I'm excited to see my boy. Now I'm excited I can't wait to meet him. Because now I know, thanks to your help, I'm going to be okay. Because he's like freaking out. I don't know how to be a father. I don't know where to begin, where to start. Bruh, you know what to do. You're going to be a great dad. It was just a beautiful thing to see, bruh. I love that moment. And then we finally met Jarvis. We finally know who Jarvis is all of a sudden. That was dope, man. They all went back to the past because they all had the PIM particles that Scott Lang gave them in their suits. So these moments that they were doing with this time heist, it was epic for me, man. I loved every minute of it. Some people may have a problem with the first act because it was slow, but that first act had to happen for them to get to this time heist. This was act 2. That first act happened because they finally got to Thanos and they had to whoop his ass to get the stone. He destroyed the stone, so they had to go back in the past. Thor chopped off his head, chopped off his arm. He didn't give a shit about Thanos. Thor was already depressed because he wiped out half of the population. So he whooped that ass in the beginning. Captain Marvel was helping him out, whoop that ass. Captain America too, holding him down. Thor took Stormbreaker, shink, chopped off that arm. They looked at the gauntlet, there's no stone. Thanos is like, yo, I had to use the stones to destroy the stones. After that, shink, Thor cut off his head. Now they knew that they had to go back in the past. So this is where we got the little rat. A little rat was walking all over the place looking for food. And he finally steps on or activates the trigger for actual Scott Lang to come out of the quantum realm, come out of the time vortex. That machine in the van started to activate. Scott Lang came out. And that's why we have the time heist. I loved every part of that. It was just great for them to go back into the past and not interact with their old selves at all, and do whatever they had to do, dress up in different attire so that they won't get noticed and go get these stones. Even I love when Bruce Banner went to see the Ancient One. She is the Sorcerer Supreme right now. He went to the past to go scoop up that time stone. She didn't want to give it up. She had to because Bruce told her, yo, the man that you wanted to make the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange, he's now Stephen Strange. He's the arrogant prick of a doctor. He gave up the stone when Tony Stark, Iron Man, asked for it. He just gave it up just like that. He's supposed to be the protector of the stone, right? At any cost. So she's like, oh, if he did that, then I made a mistake, using him as the Sorcerer Supreme. So here you are, Bruce Banner. She punched him out of the intelligent Hulk's body, and then she puts him back into it, which I thought was dope. And she gives him the time stone. So they go back to the future with that. Another thing about this time heist that I love was when old Gamora's mainframe was linked and synced with the future, not Gamora, the old Nebula. The old Nebula, one of the daughters of Thanos, her mainframe was synced with the future Nebula, who's with the Avengers, and became friends with Tony and everybody. She started projecting out visions and videos of what the future looked like. Thanos picked up on it. Gamora picked up on it. And I thought the Gamora was gonna, defend Nebula and not snitch. She went and told Thanos what she saw. And Thanos goes in, like, let's get her into my room and we're gonna really extract all the information. So he used one of his children of Thanos to activate her mainframe, and he got the whole future. He's like, show me everything. So this imposter Nebula was able to link up with the future Nebula, whoop her ass, take a piece of her skull, of her mainframe, and put it onto hers, and pose as if she was the future Nebula. And she went back to the future to bring Thanos from the past back to the future with the help of the pin particle. I thought that whole sequence was fantastic, beautiful writing, and for them to bring this vicious, evil Thanos, the different Thanos from the future Thanos that snapped half of the population. This Thanos was more vicious, and I loved it. When he came out of that freaking time vortex, son, and his ship went from a small ship to a big ship, he didn't waste no time. He destroyed that whole Avengers facility, y'all. He destroyed that whole shit. And then you see the remaining Avengers. This is before Bruce Banner was able to use the gauntlet that they made to snap everybody. This is crazy. He destroys the whole Avengers facility. And then you see Thor, you see Iron Man, you see Captain America, all come out of this joint. And you know what they did? Without no hesitation, they were giving it to Thanos. As vicious and you know how good Thanos is with his hands and his feet, and he got a new blade that he's wielding. He was kicking all their ass, but they were holding their own. Until all of a sudden, out of nowhere, another highlight for me of this movie was when Captain America was wielding Mjolnir. And Thor said, I knew it all along. I knew you were worthy. Captain America was worthy to wield Mjolnir and summon the lightning, bro. I was blown by that. He got his shield. He got his freaking vibranium shield in one hand, and he got Mjolnir in the other. And he's just throwing the hammer at Thanos, waxing his ass and everything and calling it back. And then he summoned the lightning and shocked the shit out of Thanos. That was dope. I lost my shit when I saw that. Bruh. And another moment that I love is when you finally see Thanos had enough. He was getting his ass handed by Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. I'm calling out my freaking army. We're going to light y'all up. Then all of a sudden, all you see is just Doctor Strange doing his, majestic arts, the magical arts. You know what I'm saying? He opens up different portals and he brings back all of the Avengers that got dusted. Scarlet Witch. She brings back Sam. Freaking Bucky. Bruh. What? You see Black Panther? Wakanda Forever. He comes through. Bruh, I was losing my shit. And you see all of the armies. It looked like Doctor Strange was able to get all the Avengers that finally came back to come together to meet at this appointed time to fight Thanos. What a culmination of all of these actors that we had from Iron Man 1 to Avengers Endgame. What a culmination of all of these characters, bro. I lost my shit, man. And then you hear Captain America say these words. Avengers assemble. And they all start charging in. What? Kicking the Black Order's ass. Kicking the children of Thanos' ass. And Thanos himself. All he wanted to do was to get that gauntlet. Then you see my woman, Captain Marvel, come out of the skies and destroy Thanos' ship. The Sanctuary 2. She destroyed that shit. Busting in from the bottom, going out through the roof, coming back in from the side of the ship, going out the other. And you just see the ship go down and just explode into the water. That was epic, man. Epic. Now I already talked about the death of Iron Man, how it hit me, man. But to see him, give out that last projectile out of his helmet to tell how much he's gonna love his wife and he's gonna love his daughter. I love you 3,000, both of y'all. And then that was the last clip of Iron Man. They go back. They did a recall back from Iron Man 2 when Pepper Potts gave Iron Man a heart. It was a metal. It looked like the arc reactor. It was the shape of the arc reactor. And it says, here's proof that Tony Stark has a heart. And she used that same artifact, that same gift that she gave him. She used that and put it on like a plant or a reef and sailed it off into the pond or whatever. And you see how the camera pans from Pepper Potts and his daughter. It goes to the back where you see Scott Lang and the Wasp. You know what I'm saying? And then you see that kid that was in Iron Man 3. He's all grown up now. That was that kid and standing by himself. And then you see Captain Marvel. And then it shows Nick Fury. I love that scene too, man, because it showed that so many people, even though Tony Stark could be an ass, they love this man genuinely because this man was not only brilliant, but he brought everybody together because of that first movie. If it wasn't for Iron Man, Nick Fury would not say, yo, I want to start an Avengers Initiative. You know what I'm saying? I want to start Avengers Initiative and I want to get the best heroes that I could gather to start this Avengers Initiative. And I want us to defend and avenge planet Earth. It was all because of Tony Stark, man. That hit me so hard, man. That hit me so hard. Another part that I love so much too was the part where we see Cap go back into the past, and he said, I want to spend some time to fix and right the wrong that I want to be able to go back and see my wife, see the girl, the love of my life. That I went into the ice. I didn't have time. So he went back, and let me tell you, 5 seconds has passed in reality, in our present day. And they were looking for him like, yo, Sam and Bucky was like, yo, Intelligent Hulk, where's Cap? You said 5 seconds. Where's he at? So they didn't see him for a while until they looked away from the time platform that Cap went into. And you see that you see old man Cap sitting on a bench looking out into the water or whatever. That was a beautiful moment for me because this is Cap passing the torch to the freaking Sam Falcon, who's now going to be the new Captain America, yo. He gives the shield to Sam. I thought Bucky was going to get it. But we all know from Black Panther in the post-credit scene, Bucky's called the White Wolf. So I knew that they weren't going to... I predicted that it was going to be Sam that's going to take up the shield, not Bucky. Even though in the comics, Bucky did have... He was Captain America as well. But so was Sam. Sam is the new Captain America. And I can't wait to see Phase 4. Him in his new outfit with the shield. That's going to be dope. Marvel... Kevin Feige, way to stick to the comic books, man. I just love... This movie was so awesome. So good. From freaking start to finish, man. I love this movie, man. One last part that I want to talk about was when we had all the females. As soon as you see Captain Marvel picking up that gauntlet to make sure Thanos didn't grab it, you see all of the ladies of the MCU, all the ladies of Marvel say, you're not alone. You see Captain Marvel in the middle, and then you see Valkyrie on the side of her with Pegasus. Then you see Pepper Potts' rescue come up. Then you see Mantis come up. Then you see Scarlet Witch come up. Then you see Okoye. And you see the Wasp come up. And you see them all protecting Captain Marvel to make sure Thanos don't get to this gauntlet. And they're all fighting alongside her. That's foreshadowing that they're going to do an A-Force movie where it's going to be all of the females. All of the females of the Marvel universe. The females that we have now, and maybe females that's going to be presented in the future, they're going to have their own superhero movie. That is a fact. And I will be there day one to see that, bruh. Any movie that Captain Marvel's in, any movie that Brie Larson's in, I'm there. She's going to lead that group. She's going to lead that charge. Facts. That was a highlight moment. Just the way the camera, the cinematography captured all of that. Bruh. So anyway, guys, I want to give y'all my spoiler review of this movie and how I felt about it and how this movie just really, really, it brought it home for me, man. This is the best movie, the greatest movie of all time. I'm sorry. And I'm going to go see this movie again. I'm going to go see it with my wife because I went to see it by myself. She had to go to work. So I was like, yo, I ain't wasting. I'm going to go see this movie. I saw it Friday at 11:55 p.m., son. And I said that in my last video. So go check out that video. Like, subscribe on that video. Share Geek Samurai. And let me know what you guys think about this, man. I love this movie, man. I don't care. This movie, the 3 hours and 2 minutes, I didn't feel any of it. This movie was fantastic. The writing, the story was what got me from start to finish. And I recommend everybody go support this movie. Make this movie break records. Make this movie be the only movie that no other movie can ever beat. I didn't think no other superhero movie could beat The Dark Knight, and this movie did. And The Dark Knight is still one of my favorite movies of all time. This movie, Avengers Endgame, did that in the first weekend. Y'all go support this movie, man. So anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this movie. Leave your comments in the comment section. I'll be looking at those. I'll be liking it. I'll be replying to those comments. Like, subscribe, and share Geek Samurai. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.